Hey, this is John Clayton. Welcome to another segment of my bass tips. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I thought we'd talk today a little bit about standing with the instrument. So many people use the straight end pin, so I thought I'd make my demonstration with the straight end pin. I use an angled end pin now, but I've played for many years, 25, 30 years with the straight end pin, so it's wonderful, it's fine. However, no matter what kind of end pin you're using, the angled end pin or the straight end pin, our goal as bass players, many of our goals are exactly the same, and that is finding a way to play the instrument with as much ease as possible. I suggest doing that because when I first started playing the bass, I did what I think most people do. I play like this. So it's fine. Our bodies can bend. There's nothing wrong with bending. You know, that's one of the cool things about our bodies. However, I discovered after a while that in order to play in this register of the instrument, in order to really deal and express myself there for any length of time, I was getting back problems. And what I did was I analyzed what was going on. I froze my body, took the bass away, and looked in the mirror, and I discovered that, you know, this is kind of the way I was positioned. So what I ended up doing is, first of all, I raised my bass. My bass is okay now, but I had my bass a little bit lower, and I was having to bend down to play in this register of the instrument. What I did was instead, I raised the instrument and I tilted the instrument a little bit. By tilting the instrument and letting it rest on our bodies, now when I need to play in this register, I mean, without even playing, if I just allow the instrument to rest on my body this way and try not to change this stuff too much, keep my shoulders more or less the same, just reach around, I now can access this much of the instrument. Frankly, this is really how I'd like to angle the instrument. And now, if I just, again, leave this as stationary as possible, reach my arm around, boom, I'm at the end of the fingerboard and I haven't really changed anything here. So now, no problem, I can just go. That's a big difference than holding the instrument like this, where it's pointing straight up and going. Now I have to do that. Don't mind, my body can bend, it's okay to bend. If I have to play in this register of the instrument for any length of time, I'm going to have serious back problems. So I suggest that you just kind of try that. Experiment with having your instrument be a bit more at an angle, and let it rest on your body so that you can then access the fingerboard this way. That's one of the goals I think that we all share, is total fingerboard access. After all, that's what we need. That's the area that we need to play our notes on. So the other thing that I like to remember in terms of standing with the instrument, and you probably heard me say this once or twice, is in order to make use of this access, this total access of the fingerboard, it's going to be a lot easier for me if I stand not on the side of the bass, but a little bit more behind the bass. Some people choose to stand exactly behind the bass and play it that way. Often they're sitting when they do that, but even standing. I prefer to kind of split the difference. So rather than here, and rather than that, I find it a little bit more comfortable for me to kind of do it there and then. So you might experiment with that. See what happens if, instead of standing on the side of the instrument, you split the difference. And you angle the instrument so that it rests on your body, and you now have more fingerboard access than when the bass is straight up. So, thanks for joining me.